Welcome to the Knuckleheads of Liberty.
Ships thing. I tell you, with Taiwan so pressing on everybody's mind, and the idea of a potential invasion from China, or at the very least, a disruption of the chips that are produced in Taiwan from making it out to the rest of the world, it's got the United States lawmakers thinking about, well, why don't we make those things here? So they're putting aside a bunch of money to uh, do that, and it's well, it's one of these government things. I mean, for a libertarian, how much should government be involved in funding things like this? I mean, obviously, we most libertarians, I think, are who are not narco libertarians, are at the very least okay with government having an army to defend us. Um, does this sort of fall in that? I mean, if all the chips are coming from some place that might be captured by your enemy, should we be doing something about it? And if we do it, is that still gonna result in chips that are worth a damn? If, government is behind them, or is it just gonna result in a lot of mismanagement of things? And one other point on that as well. Reason had something out as well that said, hey, if even if you fund this Chips Act, you may not have the talent here to work on that because of our immigration restrictions on some of the people who are actually the knowledgeable people we might want here working on that. So anyways, what do you guys think about this whole Chips Act?
Well,
Tim, why don't you go? Yes.
okay. Yeah, outside of a couple of articles, I don't like it from just the whole idea of the government being involved in any of this kind of ridiculous stuff, this whole innovation thing. We're already so far behind in chip making technology. It's ludicrous to think throwing money at it's going to make it all of a sudden, chips are going to rain down from heaven like manna. And so it's, first of all, you have that issue. Then, just the whole, I mean, they're just I don't know where to begin. They're taking money to throw at innovating in high tech, cutting edge products. And if somewhere else in the world they're better at doing that than we are, then sorry, that's just the way it goes. I mean, it's not any different than many other things. And so, okay, so what if the big bad boogeyman, China, they capture Taiwan, and then all of a sudden, what are they going to do? Hoard the chips? Okay. That what they're going to do? That what we're afraid of? Okay, then start over then. You're starting over now. I mean, at least you might get some refugees out of Taiwan to put into, if you would allow them to come into the country. You can. I know they're not from Mexico, so it's like they're not migrant farm workers. So maybe you would have an issue with that, but. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, you've got to be able to let those people in, and from other countries too, if you're looking for talent. And so, but that's just freedom. That's just looking at freedom. But this whole throwing money away, that's not freedom. That's the opposite of freedom. That's taking money from other people. You're not supposed to. The federal government is not in the chip making business. It's not in the Constitution. They're not in the chip making business. So they don't have that power, and I don't put this under security. If that's just nonsense. Yeah, we need to have the best chips around to guide our guided missiles to their appointed target. But we're just gonna have to look for other ways. I'm sorry.
So. I mean, I think most of us, all of us, liberty-minded, libertarians, whatever, will agree that we need an army to defend us, to defend our sovereignty. I think everybody would agree with that, right, Tim?
I'm worried about standing armies, and I'm siding with the original framers with that worry. A big, huge standing army is not a good thing. Navy's okay. Marine Corps is part of the Navy. This whole Air Force thing too, it's kind of land-based stuff, and so for the most part, so I'm a little bit worried about the Air Force too. So I if you want to have an army, it doesn't have to be so big like ours is. I don't think.
Okay,
That's
wait.
just-
Let me ask a question then. So
Mhm.
you agree though that some configuration, whatever it is, whatever the size, some configuration of a military, we need to defend us. You agree with that,
Yeah,
right?
I agree with that. Yeah, within
Okay.
limitations set forth by the
So if
Constitution.
if not if the chips, the nanotechnology
Yes.
that is not available to us or whatever it is, or we don't have enough of it, or we're not making enough of it.
Yes.
If that is not available, is that not a national security threat?
Yeah, it is from that standpoint, but that doesn't say that's not saying that you can take money. Basically, they're going to print the money. We know that. Let's just stop with
Yeah,
the
we know that.
tax stuff.
We know
Okay,
that. We know that.
that doesn't mean that you can indebt future Americans to pay for it, because that's not your power is to find the chips somewhere else. If you got to buy them and to make them here, or no. To Okay, unless the government, which is not empowered to do, is going to be in the chip making business. This is what it's always the same thing. They take money out of the economy and then pay private enterprise to make stuff for them. It doesn't matter if it's asphalt for the freeway system, if it's a mailbox for the mailbox system. It's some private entity being paid with money from so the government's moving the money from another entity, from one American, and giving it to another. And that's essentially what this is. They're moving money from one American, giving it to another, and I don't think they have that power. They can buy the chips. They can buy the chips made here, made somewhere else. That's fine, and that's what they've been doing. But to be in the business of causing the chips to be manufactured, and well, I guess you can say, well, what about the bullets and the bombs and the planes and the submarines? What about those? Those are all caused.
You took the words out of my mouth. I was just gonna ask you about that then.
Yeah, okay. And you could I guess you could make a good point about that. I guess I made my own counterpoint.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
I mean, in general, Tim. In general, I agree with you. About the government being part of this innovation of chips and all that kind of stuff, all the nanotechnology that's involved. I mean, the government is not innovative at doing nothing. Okay, they're not even good at taking money from one group of citizens and giving it to another. They do a lousy job at even doing that. But if there is a national security threat with these issues about the chips, what should we do about it? Yes, on one hand, we have liberty and freedoms and all that kind of stuff, and what the government is entitled, or what does the Constitution allow the government to do. On one hand, we have those things, and on the other hand, we have the national security threat, which the federal government is certainly entitled to take care of. They are authorized. They are authorized to do that. So where do those two things come together? All right.
Okay. Let's assume that that's correct. That they are authorized to, like you said, to use your words, to take care of that. So, what role are they playing when they come to that issue of taking care of it? Are they some government entity kind of coming up with these new ideas, or I mean, where are the new ideas for these chips coming?
Well, I think most likely what's happening is they're just subsidizing the industry. So they're essentially giving free money to incentivize them to build the stuff here. I think that's most likely what's happening.
The intent. No, that's exactly the intent. Well, it's not.
Yeah.
It's not free money. It's not free money. Okay, we working our ass off.
Yeah. But from their perspective, it's free money. They just have to fill out the right government form, and it just rains our money down on them.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
But I was just going to say, maybe though one way to think about this first before showering them with our money. Maybe we ought to think about what could we be doing that makes it more attractive just for people to do business here? Because I was just looking at the per capita income, the purchasing power parity that's listed out there, and in Taiwan, it's not that much different than what it is here in the U.S. So why are these things being made in Taiwan and not here in the first place? And
Right.
I'm guessing it's probably because we have a lot of stupid government rules that if we could just get rid of some of those, these things might be being built here in the
Yeah.
first place. So I don't know,
Yeah.
just a
Maybe.
thought. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, the chip makers in the United States are the losers. They're the ones they're way back in the pack as far as
Yes,
new technological chip development.
no
So we're
doubt about
giving
that.
more money to the losers. Okay, is that our great idea here? And so I'm worried about. Okay, so I'm going to side with Leon and say we've got to do something about this from a national security standpoint. I know the Marine Corps is looking into high technology and changing everything in the Marine Corps in their Force Design 2030 program, and so that is going, and I'm warming up to that program more and more, and that's all about what Leon's talking about here about moving forward with high technological solutions to these defensive problems as they come up in the future. And I want I want the Navy and the Marine Corps and all the other guys, the Army and the Air Force, and that I don't like so much, but I want them to be able to to be in front here, not back in the pack. So so I don't know how's throwing money into the companies that are way behind going to bring them up. I don't know.
I mean, the whole concept that we have, the whole concept of the Chip Act is a stupid idea, Tim. I totally agree with you on that because it's a very, very stupid idea. My only point is that I think the federal government is authorized to defend our sovereignty. Okay.
Okay,
And,
yeah,
right.
I'll go with that for sure.
Right. So if they authorize to defend our sovereignty and those not having chips, not having those chips or that nanotechnology, if that is not, if they don't have that available to them, then I don't know how they will fulfill that constitutional obligation. I mean, the continue. That is my only point.
Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, always.